Hey guys, welcome to the workbench. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about a project I'm working on, and it has to do with the WizNet 6100 Ethernet chip. I'm using that in my light controller projects, and I have been using a pre-built board. I can show you one of those right here. This is what I developed it all on. And that's their board that comes from WizNet and developed it for the Parallax P2. And unfortunately, as you can see, there's all these wires and everything that I had to wire up. Um, there is no Ethernet board available directly for the P2 currently. And what I did is I decided, all right, well, let's see if we can fix that. Uh, Parallax used to have a card or a board available called the Spinneret. It was for the Propeller One, and I'm like, okay, well, I kind of want to do a play on those words, and I created the Spinner Edge. Um, and this is a board that will accommodate the 6100. It will plug in directly to the the P2 Edge boards. So it fits the Johnny Mac board, John McPhail's board, designed for Parallax. Works with the Mini Edge board, and it also has this big large hole right here, which allows it to work with the P2 eval boards. Um, I don't know if it works with version A, but no one's developing for the version A chip. That was just there were only 160 of those made, so 168 or something like that. I was lucky enough to get one of those whenever that first came out. So these cards are the first ones that I've developed that are surface mount technology. So all the devices sit on top of the card, and you use solder paste on all the individual connections. This is also the first card board that I've laid out by using KiCad, and I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. Cool software, man, just super nice software. Um, Everything came the way that I wanted it to. The only thing I really had concerns about is if the um, vias that are on this board would be covered by the solder mask, and yes, they are. As you can see there, there's a couple of vias, and solder mask is covering over the top of them. So that was super cool. Um, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for that. Yeah, so we're gonna see how these go. I got these made by PC Boardway, PCBWay, um, in China. Um, I've had them do. This is the third board I've had them manufacture, and actually, man, I mean, you would think like most of your Chinese companies, man, they don't care. They're not going to be helpful with you. You're going to have language barriers, all those kinds of problems. I didn't have any problems dealing with those guys on my previous board that I had done. Um, there were some issues because I had drill sizes that were too small. And I told them, all right, so let's exchange those drill sizes. And they were able to fix the board for me so that they could manufacture it, and it worked really well. I mean, they were very responsive and very interactive through their website. Um, I was just very pleased with the interaction that I've had with dealing with them. I mean, it's they're very friendly and easy to work with. I mean, I really can't fault them for just having a first class team there, and just doing first rate work. I'm very pleased with everything that I've bought from them. Especially, I'm hobbyist, man. I don't do this for a living. I do this for fun. This is fun for me. So Yeah, I was pleased with how all of that went down. Let's see here. Let me show you something else that they did for me. So whenever you're dealing with surface mount technology and you have all your connections on one side of the board, the way you get your solder paste on here is you put a stencil over the top of it, and then you rub in um, your solder paste on there, and you lift the stencil off, and then you have all the solder pads, ready to go, ready to be soldered. Um, I got a stencil from those guys, and it's really cool. So let me show you how I kind of have that set up. Um, so my board is underneath here, and I took a couple of extra PC boards that are the same thickness and laid them out, and I have them taped down with packing tape, and I can lay the stencil right over the top of it, and as you can see, all of the marks line up, including the marks on this little itty bitty tiny chip over here, which is the electrostatic discharge chip used for the Ethernet. So, man, I'm gonna try to work this out and see if it works. So let's give this a try, okay? I'm probably gonna do this wrong, mostly because I don't know what I'm doing, man. This is the first time I've ever done this stuff. Um, I have some solder paste here that is rather old, and apparently you're supposed to keep this refrigerated. I had no idea, and I'm an idiot. So mine's not was not refrigerated. So I'm gonna just go ahead and spread some of this out here. So I have this business card that came in something that I'd ordered, and it is for an eBay store. Oh, this is one of the guys. Yeah, Michael Kent. I bought some capacitors, I think, from him for one of the color computers. So awesome. All right, well, we'll spread this stuff out on here. Okay, so there we go. It looks like we have components. We have that on there. Looks like I wasted a bunch of this stuff too. It didn't take anywhere near that amount. Um, Set this off to the side. And, man, time for a soda. So, yeah, look at that. I guess I need to go through here and figure out what the components are that need to go on there exactly. And, we'll probably fast forward through a bunch of this. Hopefully, I got enough room to record this on my drive. Uh, They're not perfect, but maybe close. So, I guess we will start with the air iron. Crank that bad boy up. Let me go ahead and put this last part on. I guess we'll see if any of this worked, man. If this worked, I will be so damn surprised. I mean, so surprised. Next up, I guess I'm going to put on the connector here and solder that on and put on the jumper, wire this thing up and see if it works. I'm not feeling great about it, but you know, I'm learning, so we'll see how it goes. There we are, all put together. You know, I may just flow. Man, I just don't like how that looks. The very end on that guy just didn't look right. So, all right. Same with that one right next to it. I mean, maybe they are connected well. Lord knows they got heated up enough. All right. Let's see here. I suppose we could take that bad boy off. Slap that guy on right here. Look at that. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Maybe. Maybe not. But I guess we can find out. I can certainly swap that out with this guy. Which I know is configured to work correctly. And let's see here. I have this power supply for this guy. Here's the big moment. May wind up burning something up. I don't know. It is not good. Yep, that is not good. There is no link. Okay. It is interesting that I'm getting an orange instead of a red. Which means it may be talking to the WizNet. I don't know. Let's see. We'll do a boot up here. Oh, something not happy there. Yeah, it's getting an orange even with it disconnected, so. Wah, wah, wah. It's probably a pretty good indication that something's not working at all. I don't know what, but I'll go through it and okay, guys. So I've got I've got it hooked up on the bench here again. Let me click over there so you guys can see. Uh, we've got this guy hooked up um, to the P2 Edge mini board, and it's wired on. I've got the spinneret wired starting at pin 16 or yeah 16, which is where it normally is configured. I'm going to go ahead and show you something interesting I found. Now, we're still not seeing link. I still can't ping it. However, check this out. Okay. So, whenever we go over here and I go ahead and load the RAM with debug, we got our debug coming up. And what you're going to see chip identification 610 and chip version 4661. And it's communicating with the chip. We have communication with the chip. Um, so that's good. Now I can't ping it. It's not on. It's not on the network, and it's not giving me a link. So that's kind of to be expected. Um, but we're getting there, man. We're really getting there. Um, I'm I'm running into continuous ping on this thing right now. And the only replies I'm getting back is, saying the destination's unreachable and it's coming from the machine itself because it is aware of the ARP address associated with it. It's like, dude, it ain't there. Um, so yeah, it's good. I feel better about it. I'm probably going to remove the ESD off of there, the electrostatic discharge chip. That's probably what's messing it up. So I'm just going to heat that bad boy up and try to get all of the solder connections off of there, fired up, see if it goes then. So wish me luck, man. Okay, so I removed the ESD chip. Wasn't a big deal. Get that off. I'm wondering if I put it on backwards. That sounds so stupid, but when I put that thing on there, I don't recall looking for where pin one was, and just slapped it on there. So I guess we'll see what happens here. Um, so it is that ESD chip that was there is now gone, and I guess we'll plug it in. See if we get any link lights or anything. That does not look promising. That looks very bad. So we do not have any link lights or anything like that. All right, so I'm just gonna go over here, and I'll F10 this thing, load it up, see what we got. Can talk to the Ethernet, yes. Okay, that looks good. Um, and I do have a static IP address configured for this, which is 10.0.1.22. So no link lights. Um, and no network connectivity. I have no good things to say. Okay. Well, I guess I know which side of the chip we're looking at problems for, and I'll go through. I've already checked our voltages, so our 3.3 volts on all the outputs are good. Our 1.2 volts on the chip are good. All that stuff's good. Guess we're gonna have to check that physical layer. Could be a layout issue, like as far as the way those traces are supposed to be done. Man, I could just have something disconnected, or maybe I got the wrong magnetics for this thing. I don't know. There's really not a good way to know until we start going down the fault tree. Excuse me. Now I do know that this magnetics is on one of the demo boards. Um, so you would think that that would be okay. I'm just going to continue to look at it, get out the scope, and start analyzing this thing and see if we can find out what's wrong. I am happy that I can't communicate with the chip. On the microcontroller side, I'm unhappy that on the Ethernet side, it's a no-go. But you know, uh, this is my first surface mount board, so I don't know. It's practice, so we'll see how it goes. Guys, I will I'll continue on this video, so I'll be right back and let you guys know what I find next. Hey guys, I'm back and I've got good news. So I went through and was checking out, trying to figure out why this thing wasn't working. And so I removed the chip, put the chip back on there, reflued all the solder, nothing wrong with the chip. I checked to see if the clock was running. So that was one of the things I was concerned about is, hey, maybe I saw in a TI article that, if you don't have the 25 megahertz clock running, you can run into problems where the physical layer won't come up. So no layer one. And I went through and turned on my communication service monitor, put the antenna close to the board, and yeah, sure enough, there was nice quiet 25 megahertz signal there. So that wasn't the issue. Next thing I started doing is like, okay, well, let's just check and make sure everything's soldered the way that it's supposed to be. And what I did is I started going through and just doing continuity checks. And the first one I came across was the connection between R2 and the chip. And sure enough, checking on the far side of R2 and touching the chip, there was no continuity. And it's supposed to be at least about 3 ohms of resistance across that resistor. I think it's a 3 ohm resistor that's in there. And so I'm like, okay, so I reflowed the solder on it. Went ahead and reflowed the solder on R2, R3, R4, and R5, I believe. Yeah, and those are all in a line right there. They're the ones that are the 3 ohm resistors that go over to the magnetics on the board, and reflowed it and fired it up, and boom, we had link. So check this out. I'll show you on the workbench here. These were the resistors of interest. These little bitty guys right here. And that is the one that was bad. I reflowed the solder on it. You can tell now things are awfully ugly all over this board where I haven't cleaned it up. It's like I just got it running and haven't cleaned it up or anything. But as you can see here, we have link and activity there, and let's see here. Let me go ahead and flip around, and I will show you the screen capture. Hey, let's get me out of the way here. And I'll go up here. I'll refresh the browser. And yeah, so that is this fellow right here. He is sitting there on the network. So yeah, man, I'm super happy to have this work out the way that it did. You know, it was it's a fun project. Probably going to put together a few of these, put those up on the GriswoldFX.com store, and make some available. So if you guys are into the P2, the Parallax P2, you can add networking to your P2. I wrote the Ethernet driver for it. It's available as open source. I just MIT. I released the driver using the MIT license, so it's available for you guys to use. So yeah, man. So these little boards, man, they worked out really well. They are. Let's see here. Let me flip that around. There we go. These little boards right here, man, they worked out good. PCBoardway, PCBway.com. That's who produced these for me. They are an outfit out of China, but man, they are great to deal with. And I mean, I don't know of any. Maybe some of the other places are high touch like that in the States. The other vendors I've worked with were not that high touch. They locked you into their software, so you had to use their tool to build the boards and everything. These guys are using KiCad. They have a plug-in. You do your board layout, you press the button, it goes through and it validates it. It sends it over to them. They have a whole team of people that check it out, make sure everything is correct with it. I'm actually very pleased with the service that I've gotten from those guys. With shipping and everything, I got 10 of these made, and these boards cost about $5 a piece. So that's not bad considering it was a low volume 10 board thing. I mean, can't beat that with a stick, man. It's pretty cool. Anyways, well, thanks for hanging out with me on this video. We've got success. Took me a day or two after testing it out and initially failing to come back around and work on it. Had, you know, family things and other obligations going on, but we got it going, man. I'm just super pleased. Take care, and we'll see you guys later.